there are three recent developments that I think are potentially worrying and may prove challenging for levelling up. So one is the cost of living crisis that everyone's referred to so far, which has been driven by a rise in energy prices and food prices. Now, so far, government support has cushioned, if not shielded, households from the increase in energy costs. But we know that the price cap is set to expire next year, and also we're expecting an announcement on future support in the autumn statement. A second challenge is rising inactivity that we've seen since the start of the pandemic, which has been concentrated among the over 50s and driven by retirement, with potentially ill health playing a role as well. Now, we know that demographics are hugely skewed in this country. Older people are concentrated in coastal areas, many of which are already relatively deprived. So to the extent that leaving the workforce reduces their incomes further and reduces their living standards, this may lead to a further widening of geographical income inequalities. The third challenge, and I think the most important challenge really, is the budget deficit and the emphasis right now on closing this so-called fiscal black hole. I think the government's made it very clear that they're planning to cut spending in the autumn statement. It's likely, for example, that investment zones are going to be scrapped or at least significantly scaled back. And there's a question of, which other levelling up policies are going to fall by the wayside. And I think in the context of chronic underinvestment outside London and the South, as well as the overall productivity crisis that the country is facing, I think it's crucial that the government doesn't cut back on spending that will be important for future growth. And in particular, I think it's important that the government doesn't cut back on investment in skills, which we know is both a driver of the geographical inequalities that we see and also of the overall productivity slowdown in the UK.